Hey, my mission is to help you harness your passion for gaming and geek culture and use it as a tool for growth and change. See, I believe that there's a hero inside of each of us waiting to be unlocked or unleashed. And all it takes is awareness, a plan, and determination, and you can become whatever you want to be. That's right, you don't need a magic sword or a special wand or even superpowers. The only thing standing between where you are today and where you could go or be is you and the story that you tell yourself. Your dream life starts with taking a small step in the right direction. So imagine, what if everyone took one small step every day? Imagine how much better off the world could be. The world needs you to step up and into your destiny. No more playing small because you're just one quest away from living a life beyond your wildest dreams. Whether you want to learn how to unleash the superpowers of your personality type, find your spark in life, start to date someone who loves you for who you are, or just stop all that negative thinking, I'll be your transformation guide through the process, your own little pocket healer. I definitely didn't always have this drive and focus and self-value that I have now, though. In fact, it was quite the opposite. I was asleep to my emotions. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be loved. I felt that I had to be loved and accepted as a good boy to be happy. If I wasn't, then I'd be abandoned or left on my own with nowhere else to go and nobody to help me. And I didn't always know that, but now I do through reflection over my past, my story, my history. So I'm downstairs in the basement playing The Floor is Hot Lava with my neighbor, and I'm just about to rescue the princess, and I get summoned by my father and my mother. Matt, can you come up here for a second? So I go upstairs on these stairs that I tripped over so many times. Anyway, I go upstairs and I see my parents sitting on the living room. It's kind of like a sofa thing. And my dad said, "Matt, your mom and I are getting a divorce." And there's this part of me that wants to maintain harmony at all cost, repressing my own negative emotions so I'll be loved, as I mentioned. And part of me wants to be myself and actually express those feelings. Anyway, so I said, "Okay, can I tell my friend?" And they're like, we didn't know anyone was over, but okay. So I go downstairs and with a smile, I say, "Hey, Matt," his name's also Matt, "my parents are getting a divorce." It was a very strange way of dealing with these emotions and this experience. And I remember playing basketball in elementary school. I'm in the gym practicing with the rest of the team, and I really liked basketball. I played a bunch of sports at the time. Anyway, I took a shot and I missed. And it wasn't even like I completely bricked it or just missed horribly, right? I just missed. And one of my teammates came up and starts yelling at me like, "Sherman, you suck. You can't even make a shot." So what would you do in that situation? Would you just get angry back? Would you shrug it off? Would you show him a choice finger? Take a guess about what I did in that moment. I quit. Okay, I quit. His friend comes up right after and says, "Well, you're not quitting because of what he said, are you?" No. I'm just quitting. It was completely a lie. I'm going to censor my words there, but it was a complete lie. But I didn't just quit basketball. I quit soccer, I quit baseball, I quit Boy Scouts as well. Every instance of conflict solidified this idea that my influence on a situation would be a problem. My actions make people angry. That's what I thought. My actions make people sad. Even loving someone will cause them problems because eventually, like my parents, the gods that brought me into this world, relationships will end in separation. That was my thought. And that's my parents were great, right? They did an amazing job at raising me. But that's the meaning that I took from the story that I created within my head. So by middle school, I'm having thoughts of suicide. I'm sad. I cry randomly during lessons. I have a goal of never living past 30 years old. Luckily, that didn't come true. Like that was the cutoff point. right? I'm fat because I quit all the sports. The one girl that I had somehow managed to get close to moved to another state. So I realized the solution. Just shut off. I turn off all the emotions that I can. I put my true self to sleep through games and TV and daydreaming. I also began studying people to figure out why the heck they're so different than me. What's the difference here? Like, why am I struggling with this and they're not? Carl Jung once said, "What you resist not only persists, but will grow in size." And the more I studied others to make some sort of logical sense why I am the way that I am, the more that my desire to be true to myself and act based on how I really feel about things grew and bubbled inside. I had to eventually accept that like illogical nature of myself, of all these scary, unsettling, and deep-seated feelings within me. So in my endless search to understand the right and wrong thing to do, there was this voice whispering inside me, saying, how do you know what right is? You need to experience it. You need to go out there and learn and embrace it. So just out of high school, in a moment of heroic courage that would forever change my life, I moved to Japan. I was actually I didn't even go to the school field trip to Spain, I think it was, because I was just so scared of leaving my house and leaving Michigan. But somehow I managed to get to Japan. But even then, there's this part of me that wants to keep me safe and do what I've always done. Like, I should just stick with the games and the fantasies that have always worked, that let me escape, right? This voice, though, kept reminding me, you were hurt in the past, you'll get hurt again if you let someone in. Don't stretch yourself too far. Play it safe. So in the end, I'm in Japan. I have no idea how to do laundry or cook. Everything is new, and I'm essentially helpless, unable to communicate through anything but body language. I didn't know any of the actual Japanese language at the time. But this is also one of the first moments in my life that I felt alive. All of this came because I listened to this repressed voice inside of me that wanted me to explore more of my potential. Since then, I convinced myself to continue to follow the explorer's advice. Did it always come easy? No, not at all. I've had so many misadventures and nights crying and punching the wall out of frustration with myself, altercations with the Yakuza, threats on my life, too much alcohol, lost love, thoughts of giving up. But I persisted. To continuously push myself out of my comfort zone, I had to learn to acclimate to going out every weekend. I learned to talk to people. I learned to speak in Japanese and English, of course, in front of crowds of 300 to 350 people at a time. I worked at a bar where customers paid me, beautiful women, paid me to drink with them. I had to go through this search of myself, like, am I okay with this? How do my morals sit with this? My conscience, but still continuously stretching outside of my comfort zone. I've been on TV in Japan. I've been on a billboard in Korea where I lived for a year. I've sang karaoke with professional singers, and I also continued playing a lot of games. All the struggle was necessary for the good. It was the cost that I had to pay to live the life that I wanted. So flash forward about 15 or so years, through a lot of searching, ups and downs, and here I am on my wedding day in Japan. And as I look out over the podium, I see everyone I love and care about in the same room. My parents, my brother, my stepmother, friends who I've known throughout my journey. People from all over the world, all gathered in this one room to celebrate together. I recently had a falling out with one of my friends, and he chose not to come. And I realized, though, here, that this room is a microcosm of what's going on inside of all of us. Like, I feel that people are genuinely good. Each person has positive intentions, but sometimes those intentions get brought out in negative ways, right? They fight, they go different directions, they hurt each other. Sometimes they don't show up when you want them to. But in the end, they can align and support each other. How they work together or don't work together forms a larger whole. And it just clicked. I started clearly seeing people as different character classes in a game. Some people are more lively and offensive, while others are more in the back lines, like I was and still kind of am, and defensive. Some people are more experience focused. Some track ideas like prey. Some follow their head and others follow their heart. Some try to control the world and others try to control themselves and just let the world do what it's going to do. And although I dabbled for a long time in studying personal growth, this was like one of the turning points in my story of truly understanding myself and the parts within. This is when it changed from an interest to my life's quest. Love, unity, and peace come from understanding each other and having the ability to empathize with the other person's journey. And this can only happen when you put in the effort to understand people and yourself at a deep level. I believe that all problems come from a lack of empathy. Personality type awareness unlocks the skill of empathy. If we all understood ourselves better, we'd all understand how other people are different, and we'd be able to respect their strengths and forgive their weaknesses. We'd see where we struggle and where they succeed. We'd see how they can teach us life-changing skills, and just how we can also help them improve their lives. My purpose is to help people appreciate and align these different characters within them so that they can face the same direction and embrace love and life and be on the same quest, right? Helping finally become who you are meant to be while having the courage to change yourself and change the world is just so important to me. And because changing one person's life will change another's, which then transforms another person's life, the impact can be endless. By taking the same games and fantasies that I use to distract myself from my own feelings, I begin to use them as tools to awaken self-awareness. See, RPGs and role-playing games have the ability to let us slip into these different worlds and see ourselves as powerful heroes, accessing the hidden potential within. So by loosening the rigid structure of personal growth, I was able to use the metaphors and analogies to link Jungian psychology and many extremely beneficial growth-related concepts to RPG elements. I started treating my life as a hero's journey and having these quests and these characters within me, seeking out treasure and success and goals, working together, sometimes feuding, me having to mend their relationships. It just completely transformed my life, and I used the symbols of those interactions as Polaris stars and guiding posts for me to continue on my journey. And it's not just me, I've used this for clients and friends and family and stuff too. Life is a game, my friend, and I'm here to help you find your true character and level it up so you can play life better. And if you're ready and you want some help and some support, besides all the free content and stuff that I have on YouTube and the community access, you can go to schedule.geekpsychology.com and schedule a brief session. We can figure out what you want out of life, get some clarity around it, and see if I'm a good fit to help you with that. All right. Good luck. Have fun. Peace.